I heard my mother's voice say, "I'm busy," before I heard the flatline monitor next to my hospital bed. My daughter was 3 days old. I was 26. And I was about to learn that the woman who raised me had been waiting for this exact moment to let me fall. My name is Samantha, and up until that Tuesday afternoon in Portland, Oregon, I thought I understood my family. I was the only child. My father died when I was 7, a heart attack, sudden and brutal. After that, it was just me and Mom in our little house on Maple Street. She worked double shifts at the credit union. I learned early to be quiet, to not need too much, to earn my space. She remarried when I was 16. His name was Dale. He had money, a big house in West Lynn, and a son from his first marriage, Kyle, who was 2 years older than me. I moved into their guest room. It was understood that I was grateful. If you've ever felt like a visitor in your own family, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Because what I'm about to tell you, it only makes sense if you understand that feeling first. Kyle got the master bedroom. I got the one next to the laundry room. When Dale bought him a car for his 18th birthday, I got a gift card to Target. When I graduated high school with honors, they threw Kyle a party the same weekend for getting his associate degree. Mine was acknowledged. I told myself it was fine. I was independent. I worked through college, got my nursing degree, met a good man named Marcus, and by 25, I was married and pregnant. Mom seemed happy for me. She came to the baby shower. She bought a crib. She said all the right things. I didn't see it coming. It was a Tuesday. March 14th. I remember because it was Pie Day, and Marcus had joked about bringing me pie at the hospital. Our daughter, Emma, had been born 3 days earlier. Healthy. Perfect. I was recovering well, just tired, sore, learning how to be a mom. Marcus had gone home to grab my phone charger and some clean clothes. He'd been gone maybe 20 minutes. That's when the nurse came in with the wrong medication chart. I caught it. I'm a nurse, I know how to read labels. But she insisted, got defensive, and in the chaos of the argument, I stood up too fast. My stitches tore. I started bleeding. Bad. They got me stable, but I needed emergency surgery to repair the damage. And Marcus, he was in a car accident on his way back to the hospital. Not his fault. Someone ran a red light on Highway 43 and T-boned him. He was alive, but unconscious, pinned in the car. I was on a gurney, bleeding, being rushed into surgery. And Emma, my 3-day-old daughter, needed someone. The hospital needed a family member to take her. Just for a few hours while they worked on me and until Marcus woke up. I told them to call my mother. I remember the nurse holding the phone to my ear because my hands were shaking too hard. Mom picked up on the 3rd ring. Samantha? Mom. My voice cracked. I need you. I'm going into surgery. Marcus he's in an accident. Emma needs someone to hold her. Just for a few hours. Please. There was a pause. I heard music in the background. Laughter. Honey, I'm at Kyle's place. We're celebrating, he just got promoted. The whole family's here. Mom, I'm bleeding. They're taking me into surgery now. Emma can't stay in the nursery alone. Please. I'm begging you. Another pause. Longer this time. Samantha, I can't just leave. This is important for Kyle. Can't you call someone else? I couldn't breathe. There is no one else. Marcus is unconscious. You're my mother. Her voice went cold. Don't guilt trip me. I've been there for you your whole life. One time I have plans, and you act like I'm abandoning you. You're an adult. Figure it out. Then she hung up. I don't remember screaming. The nurses told me later that I did. I woke up 6 hours later. Groggy. Stitched. Alive. Marcus was in a room 2 floors down, awake, banged up, but okay. And Emma was in the nursery, being held by my grandfather. I hadn't seen Grandpa Joe in 2 years. He lived in Bend, about 3 hours away. We talked on the phone every few months, but Mom always made excuses when I suggested visiting him. She said he was difficult. That he didn't really want company. He was sitting in the rocking chair, holding Emma like she was made of glass, tears streaming down his weathered face. Grandpa? He looked up. His jaw tightened. Your mother didn't tell me you were pregnant. The words didn't make sense. What? I found out because a nurse called every contact in your phone. I was listed under Grandpa Joe. She told me what happened. What your mother said. His voice shook. I drove 3 hours, Samantha. I got here as fast as I could. I tried to sit up. Mom didn't tell you I was pregnant? She told me you were busy with your life and didn't want to be bothered. For 2 years, kiddo. Every time I asked about you, she said you were too busy to call, that you'd moved on. Something sharp and cold settled in my chest. She lied. He nodded. She's been lying for a long time. Grandpa Joe stayed with us for a week. Marcus was released after 2 days. We brought Emma home. And every evening, after Emma was asleep, Grandpa sat at our kitchen table and told me things I'd never known. About my father. Dad hadn't died broke. He'd had life insurance. A lot of it. $200,000. It was supposed to be in a trust for me. For college. For my future. Mom had been the trustee. And somewhere between my 7th birthday and my 18th, that money disappeared. Grandpa had tried to ask about it once. Mom threatened to cut him off from seeing me. So he stayed quiet. Sent birthday cards. Called when he could. Watched from a distance as I grew up thinking I was a burden. He opened his laptop and showed me the documents. He'd kept copies. Bank statements. Trust documents. Legal papers my father had signed. There it was. $200,000. Distributed to my mother in increments over 11 years. Marked as educational expenses and guardian costs. I'd gone to community college on loans. I'd worked every summer. I graduated with $30,000 in debt. She'd bought Dale's house with my father's life insurance money. If this is making your blood boil, hit that like button. Because what came next, it made me stop crying and start planning. I called her. I didn't tell her what I knew. Mom, we're home. I'd love for you to meet Emma. She sighed. Samantha, I've been meaning to talk to you. Things have been really hectic, and honestly, I think it's best if we give each other some space. You've been so demanding lately. Demanding. Yes. The phone call during Kyle's party was really unfair. Dale and I talked about it, and we think you need to work on your independence. I could hear dishes clinking in the background. She was loading the dishwasher. So you're not coming? Not right now. Maybe in a few months. We'll see. I closed my eyes. Mom, did Dad leave me anything when he died? Silence. Why would you ask that? Just curious. He left you me, Samantha. I raised you. That's what he left. Her voice was sharp now. I have to go. She hung up. I didn't cry. I opened my laptop and started making a list. I'm a nurse. I'm methodical. I don't burn bridges, I dismantle them brick by brick and document every step. First, I called a lawyer. A good one. The kind who specializes in estate fraud and embezzlement. I gave him everything Grandpa Joe had saved. He smiled, not a kind smile, but a professional one. The kind that said, "This is going to be easy." Turns out, misappropriating life insurance funds from a minor's trust is a serious crime. Even if you're the surviving parent. Especially if you lied on legal documents about how the money was spent. Second, I filed a report with the state bar. Mom worked at a credit union. Fiduciary responsibility was kind of her whole job. If she'd stolen from her own daughter's trust, what else had she done? Third, I contacted every family member I had. Aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. I told them the truth. I sent them copies of the documents. I didn't editorialize. I just let the numbers speak. And fourth, I waited. It took 3 months. 3 months of silence from my mother. 3 months of me posting pictures of Emma on social media, her first smile, her first laugh, knowing Mom could see them and was choosing not to respond. Then the lawsuit landed. My lawyer filed a civil suit for the full amount of the trust, $200,000 plus interest and penalties. It came out to just over $300,000. The same day, the credit union launched an internal investigation. Turns out, Mom had been creative with her record-keeping there, too. Nothing massive. Just enough small redirections over the years that, when you added them up, painted a picture. She called me. Finally. How could you do this to me? I was feeding Emma. I put her on speaker. Do what, Mom? You know what? The lawsuit. The lies you're spreading. Dale's furious. Kyle won't even talk to me. You're destroying this family. I didn't lie about anything. I just showed people the bank statements. That money was mine. I earned it raising you. Your father would have wanted me to have it. Dad set up a trust. For me. You stole it. Her voice went shrill. I sacrificed for you. I gave up everything. You were expensive. Difficult. I deserved something for myself. I should have been angry. But all I felt was cold, clear certainty. You didn't come to the hospital, Mom. I was bleeding, my husband was in a car accident, and you chose a party. You hung up on me. You're never going to let that go, are you? No, I said quietly. I'm not. She started crying. Please, Samantha. Drop the lawsuit. I'll lose the house. Dale will leave me. I'll lose everything. You'll still have more than I did at 18. I hung up. The lawsuit took 8 months. We won. Mom had to sell the house in West Lynn, the one she'd bought with my father's money. The court ordered full restitution plus penalties. $317,000. Dale left her before the sale even closed. Turns out, he hadn't known about the trust fund either. He thought she'd saved the down payment. When he found out she'd lied to him, too, he was done. Kyle stopped speaking to her. Not because of me. Because the investigation at the credit union found that she'd been skimming from client accounts for years, small amounts, hard to trace, but there. She lost her job. She lost her license. She narrowly avoided criminal charges by agreeing to pay restitution and accept a permanent ban from financial services. She moved into a small apartment in Gresham. Alone. She sent me one email. No apology. Just, I hope you're happy now. I didn't respond. Grandpa Joe moved to Portland 6 months after Emma was born. He bought a little townhouse 10 minutes from us. He's there every Sunday for dinner. He built Emma a rocking horse. He teaches her songs my dad used to sing. One night, after Emma was asleep, he handed me an envelope. Inside was a check. $50,000. Grandpa, I can't. It's not from me, he said. It's from your dad. I had a small life insurance policy that named you as the beneficiary. I was saving it for when you needed it most. I think now's the time. I started crying. Not sad crying. Just release. Your dad would be proud of you, he said. Not because you fought. Because you didn't let her make you small. We're halfway through, and if this story is hitting home, do me a favor, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the ending? It's not what you'd expect. Emma just turned 3. She's smart, stubborn, and looks exactly like my dad in the old photos Grandpa keeps. 2 weeks ago, I got a message on Facebook. From Kyle. Hey, Samantha. I know we haven't talked. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. For everything. I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know she lied about Grandpa Joe, or the money, or any of it. I was a kid, and I just believed her. Anyway. I saw the pictures of Emma. She's beautiful. If you ever want to grab coffee, I'd like to try. No pressure. Kyle. I stared at that message for 3 days. Marcus told me I didn't owe him anything. Grandpa said it was my choice. I met him at a coffee shop in Selwood. He looked older. Tired. He apologized for 20 minutes straight. He told me he'd been in therapy. That he'd realized how much Mom had manipulated all of us. That he was trying to unlearn it. I didn't forgive him. Not right away. But I listened. And at the end, I said, if you want to meet Emma, you can. But you have to understand, I'm her mother. I decide who gets access to her. And if you ever pull what Mom did, you're gone. No second chances. He nodded. I understand. We're taking it slow. He's met Emma twice. It's awkward. But he's trying. Last month, on Emma's 3rd birthday, a card arrived in the mail. No return address. But I recognized the handwriting. Inside, it said, I miss you. I'm sorry for everything. I hope one day you'll let me be a grandmother. Mom. There was a $50 bill inside. I stood in the kitchen, holding that card, feeling nothing. Marcus watched me. What are you going to do? I thought about it. About the little girl I'd been, trying so hard to earn love that should have been free. About the woman I'd become, who stopped begging and started building. I put the $50 in Emma's college fund. I threw the card away. I didn't respond. Here's the thing nobody tells you about revenge, it doesn't feel like the movies. There's no triumphant music. No moment where the villain breaks down and admits you were right all along. There's just quiet. And space. And the life you build in the aftermath. I didn't destroy my mother to feel powerful. I did it because she'd spent 20 years erasing me, and I needed to prove, to myself, more than anyone, that I was real. That I mattered. That the pain she caused wasn't something I had to carry alone. The money helped. It paid off my loans. It gave us a cushion. It let me go part-time at the hospital so I could be home with Emma more. But the real gift? It was Grandpa Joe at our dinner table. It was Marcus holding my hand through the lawsuit. It was Emma learning that her mom doesn't beg for crumbs. I thought justice would feel like winning. It actually feels like breathing. If I could go back to that 17-year-old girl in the guest room next to the laundry, I'd tell her this. You're not too much. You're not a burden. The people who make you feel that way? They're the ones who are small. And one day, you're going to stop asking for permission to exist. You're going to build a life so full and so bright that their rejection won't even sting anymore. You're going to have a daughter. And you're going to love her the way you deserve to be loved. Freely. Fiercely. Without conditions. And that's the real revenge. We're good. Really good. Emma starts preschool in the fall. Marcus got promoted. We bought a house, nothing fancy, but it's ours. Grandpa Joe lives 10 minutes away and babysits every Friday so we can have date night. I don't think about my mother every day anymore. Sometimes I see a woman with her same haircut at the grocery store and feel a small, sharp pang. But it passes. Kyle came to Emma's birthday party last week. He brought a stuffed elephant. He stayed for an hour, awkward but kind, and then left. We're figuring it out. I don't know if we'll ever be close. But I know this, I'm not responsible for fixing what she broke. I'm only responsible for building something better. And I am. If you're watching this and you're in the middle of your own storm, whether it's family, betrayal, or just that feeling of being unseen, I want you to know this. You don't owe anyone your pain. You don't have to keep breaking yourself open to prove you love them. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is walk away. Build your own table. Invite people who see you. And let the ones who didn't, let them sit with the space you leave behind. If this story meant something to you, leave a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Hit that subscribe button because I've got more stories coming. And remember, your peace is worth protecting. Always. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.